In Val's March 11th prediction,
could be April 4th, April 6th. It's pretty bad. It's a spy, I think. Looks like the spy falls. The spy doesn't do very well.
April 4th, NSA's top spy is fired. Join Astrologer Val Evans for more world predictions.
Thanks for joining me today. We're going to look at the USA solar return starting on July 4th. See if we can get some clues as to whether the bill is going to pass, as well as some good news that I'm getting from the USA solar return chart. It's hard to believe. It's really amazing. It is going to be a soap opera this year. It's almost like the way Trump deals with Zelensky. It's just back, forth, back, forth. It's like a game of tennis. Well, hello, Pernille from Denmark. Angel's here. Meg's here. Everyone, please make sure to hit the subscribe button if you like this type of content, mundane astrology. It's like hot topics. And if you guys are interested in a reading, you can go to astrologywithval.as.me. Got an upcoming class on how you can read the degrees in your own chart. And I'm going to help you in this next lab that we're having next month. What's next? Don't you want to know what's next? I do. This guy always comes into my head. Very brilliant man, that J.R. Ewing. He somehow transforms himself. He's a chameleon. He does many deals per day, it would seem. I see so much in the solar return for USA about transportation, airlines. People really don't want this bill to go. There's a lot of fear about Medicare, a lot of things in this bill. It's a 1,000-page document. People believe that their taxes are going to go up, that rural America is going to suffer. And I also get the union's big rise in this. We're going to go back to 1973 for a second. President Nixon would be seen in this chart. Of course, the sun is always the president in the USA solar return. Of course, this one starts July 4th, just like all of the USA solar returns. This one would have the sun in the 12th house. And that would show that, especially in a T-square, usually when there's a key person in your life that's in the 12th house that year, you can't see them. They go away. They disappear. Sometimes when you have Jupiter in the 12th house, it can show that your husband is, he goes somewhere. Sometimes it shows that maybe you don't see him for good, but it just depends on the aspect. And so with this T-square, we said goodbye to Nixon. He went poof in the 12th house, is to disappear. Now, sometimes the 12th house can also mean your husband might be an introvert and is doing something, and you might be in there with him. And so maybe you both are kind of like behind the scenes that year. You just don't want a lot of poor aspects like a T-square going through the 12th. The other planets also are affecting the sun as well. In this case, Uranus was like quite a shock. The president could not be successful. That's part of fortune, success. And you could see, can't be successful that year. And he is fired. Also, Chiron is like wounds and just feeling pretty bad. Oh, by the way, if you ever read Nikola from Serbia, he does the degree theory and has a book. He will talk about leaders of countries. And for the US, he talks about how the 13th degree, always at the 13th degree for the US president, that's the Mars degree or the Aries degree, and shows that presidents tend to like to be war presidents when they become president. So often there's a lot of war, a lot of angry presidents that are representing the US. Now, in the good part about this chart, we've got a triangle here and we've got the ninth house. We've got a guy here. And because we have a trine to two planets, Mercury is 2 as well. It shows two guys. And the ninth house is the press. So this Neptune would be secrets. So these newsmen are gathering secrets, and it's about a hotel, which would be Watergate. And so Neptune, Watergate, also secrets, and they really knocked it out of the park. So, but they also, when you have a blue line from either Aries, a planet in Aries, or Mars itself, it means you win. So they had to wait a while. They had to wait till this Saturn return to find success. So keep in mind, ninth house is the media. One of the things that the ninth house represents can also be colleges and foreign places. So we've got the USA 2026. This is in a year. Okay. This is not the 2025. I wanted to wait to get to the 2025 chart. You can watch it. You can watch Dallas. I was watching it the other day. I was watching some of the early episodes. You would not find that content on right now. One of them was dating a high school girl or something like that. That's how it started. So I was like, eek, you wouldn't see that today, but Eleanor, when you were on maternity leave, I watched the entire Dallas series. It is just riveting, especially the later seasons. It got worse and worse and worse and more scheming. It was just like you couldn't believe that people could think of these types of scenarios for JR. Maggie said, "Oh my God, I loved watching Dallas with my mom growing up." Well, JR used to have a genie. Oh, that's right. Now, here is 2026. Why did I want to look way into 2026? Because I want to see who's going to be successful a year from now. And I thought this was kind of cool that we kind of have the same blue triangle or grand trine with Pluto. We got two people over here in Gemini. These are TV people. And we've got success. And so there's something, it looks like another Woodward and Bernstein type of situation here where it's pretty shocking. It might have something to do with data. It's like 12th house is secret. Uranus is like data. Mars is could be war, could be army, could be something like that, where somebody's doing something that has to do with maybe military. I don't know. And then it's in this big kite with Neptune at the top. Wonder if there's going to be a hotel involved. We don't know. It's a year from now. But Trump is going to be the sun, as is any president. And of course, the sun in a solar return is always going to be your sun at the same degree in your natal chart. But we're not looking at Trump's natal chart. We're looking at the USA. And that's what Trump looks like to a degree, because he actually has some nice aspects as well. But it's really interesting that you see Saturn here. And this means he loses something. And sometimes it can mean depression. It can mean, I don't know, it could be something that is a goal. The 11th house is your goal that year, and you got to put it aside. You can't do it. We're going to talk about what is Trump trying to stop. Here's the sun. It's in the 6th house this year. There's an octile to somebody in here, and it is a big shock. It is a big shock, and it seems to be coming in the fall. However, let's back up for a little bit. We want to talk about the USA first, and then we'll talk about Trump. Your solar return chart is going to start on your birthday, and every house is going to be the next month. But you're still going to have changes depending on whether you're going to have a different zodiac sign within that month. Sometimes, like in this case, you're going to have two. So Uranus is going to be ruling that part of the month, and then you're going to have Neptune. You could look at the traditional rulers. So Saturn and Jupiter, you could look at those too. They're all going to tell you good information. But what's really interesting is that the 0 degree is, and I mentioned this last time, it's like there's some good things, but it's not as strong as if there were later degrees here. It's sort of like more progress has happened. However, with 0 degrees, it also shows that this is a beginning of a whole new era. And I think it's going to be a really exciting one. And I know it's hard to find people that actually say that. But what is Pluto? Pluto is the airline industry. It is space. It is all those things that we talk about with Aquarius. And we've got this big blue grand trine with part of fortune. This is massive success. And it's amazing. It's like the 4th house is also, I mean, in the UK, we look at it as parliament, but here it's Congress. And it's also can be people's homes as well. So things are really being modernized. And it's really, we're taking a leap. We're taking a big, big leap in modernization. So I'm really excited about that. So I would like to pull a couple of cards about that. And then I'm going to explain what all this drama is with Trump, because it looks like A good example of something like what I'm seeing here is the big, beautiful bill passes, but then something happens where everything goes forward, but he's trying to stop something because he can't control what's going to happen. So maybe there's less control than what he's expecting. So, what I want to do is I first want to ask the cards what this blue trine is. And okay, let's see. What is that grand trine? This is really big, exciting news for the US. And I was not expecting to really consider that, but it's big. And it's also it's probably a new crypto age too. But what is so good for the US in 2025 and 2026? Okay. This isn't good. Okay, well, that's not good. 9 of swords. So everybody, well, it is a fact. It looks like everybody is just crying in despair. Something at first happens where it's like, oh my God, we're going to lose Medicare. We're going to lose it all. And we've got these awful people who are at the helm. Is there something that's good news for the US? Yes. There we go. So we get the sun. So I think what these cards are telling us is we're going to all be in despair at first, like, oh my God. But we're not going to think about some of the advances, the modernization that's coming in. And that I think is going to be exciting. Can I ask what type of modernization are we seeing? It'd be funny if we get the star card. Oh, 9 of cups reverse. Well, it looks like something that's chaotic, that's for sure. But this could be logistics too. That kind of transportation, logistics, things that are upside down are going to be modernized. So it would make sense that there was a reverse card if something was just kind of out of whack, disorganized. Um, it looks like there's a woman involved because of that Venus at Uranus conjunct. Is there a female that is taking the helm of this modernization project? Well, it looks like it, but she's kind of like probably stuck because of the politics. So it's kind of like a that kind of reading is sort of mediocre, but still, a grand trine is a grand trine. So I'm going to put this back here and let's go and analyze Trump for a second. Constitutional Convention, AI and blockchain. Thank you, Hyperledger. Hey, Jen. I know, Eleanor. I mean, I tried to find that episode where she tells him off, JR, and then she has this big diamond ring and she pops the balloon with it. It's like my favorite scene, but I can't find it. Obviously, I have a lot of time on my hands. There are so many mentions about the Constitution, what is constitutional, what isn't. There are weaknesses here. What's really interesting about the sun itself, every time, like every year for the US, the sun is always in Cancer. The sun doesn't do that great in Cancer. Maybe the founding fathers did on purpose so that there was a balance of power. That's possible. So let's look at Trump here. We've got a big square to none other than part of fortune, and that's in the eighth house. This looks like it could be a very successful lawyer, some kind of a battle of some sort. The sun in the sixth house, this is healthcare, it is court documents, and it's also how the president feels as well. So there could be little issues that are coming up around maybe December 15th, something like that. But let's go back for a second. If we've got that blue trine, and let's say that is modernization and something's happening very fast, maybe it's flying cars, I don't know. You've got a lot of houses. This is Cancer. Cancer is houses, and there's a T square here. It seems as if there are a lot of people who are a little bit stuck, upset, angry. Remember, square to Aries or Mars is anger and fury that maybe Well, the sixth house could be healthcare, but it could also be homes. And maybe they're trying to build some kind of infrastructure through a bunch of homes. And it looks like a lot of homes because of Jupiter means a lot, and big homes in Cancer. But it also looks as if something is very successful for the US, but Trump does not have control of something, and he's pretty irritated about it. This might have something to do with the Supreme Court. The ninth house is usually the Supreme Court, though. So you could also see Venus. This is some kind of a lawyer, but let's just ask about the Supreme Court anyway. Give us a card for the Supreme Court. Reverse of power. Okay. How is that going to work? Can we get another card, a clarification card on the Supreme Court? Eight of Cups, just walking away from something. So maybe somebody walks away. Will there be will there be a firing or a quitting? I don't think that could ever happen on the Supreme Court, but is there somebody, it looks like a female. Could this be Amy Barrett? What's going on with Amy? The wheel reversed. So we're not done with her issues. We're seeing or reading about her issues yet. The wheel has stopped. What's the ultimate outcome here this year for the Supreme Court? Maybe we're talking about a major decision. We're talking about a lot of major decisions, but what's the ultimate outcome for the Supreme Court with maybe the biggest issue? King of Wands. Okay, so this is strength. So obviously it has to do with fighting with probably Donald Trump. That King of Wands isn't always Donald Trump, but in this reading, I think we could say that it is. That's right. Oh my God. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. I'm gonna watch it tonight. That's my favorite one. Season 12, episode 13, titled Wedding Bell Blues. I love it. Housing prices, yeah, possible. I know, Angel. I was shocked at Katy Perry not going to the wedding, but Orlando Bloom did. So maybe it was some kind of agreement or something. Katy Perry went to some of the parties, but then he went to the wedding. I don't know, but that's really sad. This big, beautiful bill, is it going to pass by July 4th? Oh, this is despair. Can I get a clarifier on this big, beautiful bill passing by July 4th? Page of Swords. So these aren't positive. They might keep rehashing and negotiating. There's a lot of negotiations. This bill is going to be a catalyst once the next voting season comes into play here, and there's a lot of people's jobs on the line depending on how they vote in this. So let me go back. With Pluto represents real estate. Every time I think of Donald Trump, and maybe it's my age, I just think of like, which one was it? The one I used to go to, Taj Mahal in Atlantic City. Like it was all gambling. It was all like he got himself into debt. It's sort of like kind of a bigger version of all of this. And so Pluto is a lot like that. Retrograde is sort of like, I don't know. It's debt. It's definitely debt when you have Pluto squaring a planet. And here we have 2 points. We have Chiron and the moon here. And this is retaliation. I mean, it's a more fancy word for revenge, but that's what you're going to see coming up a lot. And so much retaliation. We've got Scorpio way up here at the top. And this is an aspect that I'd like to ask the cards about, because it looks like the retaliation works, and it's being reported on because of the ninth house of news and news reporting. There is something that is happening that's in Trump's favor. And of course, Mars represents the police. So he has total control of Mars related things. And This is investigation. So these are kind of like, this could be some type of, you know, investigation that he's allowed to do. The ninth house, again, is the Supreme Court. So he has all the rights, basically. He can do what he wants in some months of this year, not the whole year. But this is pretty nefarious right here in this purple triangle. And hmm, it's like, let's say this is a person. Okay, well, who is this person? Well, let's look at the moon first. Where's the moon? The moon is ruling the sixth house. So this is healthcare, maybe. Um, this is also real estate. And with that black moon Lilith, this is a female. This is a very sexy female or somebody who maybe is in real estate and he really gets a big benefit this year. Now, Mars in Virgo, this is a person who's dressed very well because of Virgo representing clothing. It's the clothing industry. And it's also maybe someone who's a perfectionist as well. Let me see this. Mars, yeah. Um, Virgo is cleaning, it is the details, and it's also could be pets. But what I'd like to know is he is able to really push a lot of things forward because of that Scorpio. People are afraid of the retaliation. They don't want to deal with it. They don't want the drama. So they're letting him have his way. And so it's in the ninth house, but ninth house is the court and the press. So he's getting his way a lot. Um, and Trump has some kind of, um, what's the word? It's like this person, well, first of all, the moon is fame. So we're talking a very, very famous president. He's becoming famous for maybe something that he wasn't before. And it's really in the news there. But what is this Scorpio that we're seeing? What's the retaliation um, that Trump's going to use this year? And it has to do, I think it might have to do with the media. Is there a member of the media that could be, whoa, oh God, I got a lot of cards here. Member of the media. Wow, we got the King of Wands again. No, these aren't shuffled. So let me do it again. That was weird. I got all of those last cards, even though I shuffled again in a little pack. So it was like a double reading. But with this Scorpio, there is something, it's secret. So that Scorpio, there's something secret happening. Okay, Virgo is also workers, and it could be labor. Could be something going on with labor. Now, as far as the unions are Libra, and that's not good for him this year. But the workers, for some reason, what's going on with the workers in Trump? Why am I getting a good aspect? Maybe Mars and workers in Virgo is fighting the working class or workers. What am I seeing with Scorpio and retaliation and the workers? This is the moon reversed and a clarification card. The Emperor. Yeah, definitely the Emperor. This is homes. This is the moon reverses homes. So homes are being turned upside down. Five of Cups. So this is sadness, regret, maybe not having control over where you live. Maybe in some cases. So let me show you that again. We've got houses, which is Cancer. And we've got the president with Jupiter. Jupiter, when you have that conjunct the sun, this is a very big ego, but it's also good luck as well. So there's a lot of luck on his side as he uses that media for retaliation. And with Mars, this could be military, um, could be workers. But what is stopping him? There's something that's stopping him that I'm seeing here. And there's a little red line here to Libra. And I talked about it before. It is the judge. It is the judge or it's something, but it's kind of all packaged up in this T square here. It looks because of Saturn and Neptune, this is the secret police. Saturn in Aries is like traditional police. Neptune is secret police, secret spies. So there's some fear here, and I'm putting the Sun and Jupiter together, and there's a square to Saturn. So there's some kind of fear. It might have something to do with finances. It starts around mid August. It's a failure of some sort. It's the police. It looks fiery. It looks like he's still having trouble pushing forward his agenda here. What's happening in mid August? This could put the fear of God in the president. I mean, this looks serious with this T square. What is it? Ace of Cups reversed. So trying to start something and he can't. We've got Aries and Cancer, planets that are in a square, and that shows like abusive language, abusive talk. Could this be something that has to do with Trump's health that's coming in? This is yet another thing that's going to really affect him and affect his decision making this year. What's happening with Trump between now and it's June 29th today to December 25th? Knight of Wands reversed. So it does look like a sadness of some sort, fire energy. Knight of Wands. Could we possibly be seeing an absence of Trump? It's almost like sometimes this happens where everybody's upset and fearful, and then something happens where you don't see the authority figure. And it's like, where do they go? Does Trump disappear for a time this year? Does he go underground, which would be Scorpio? Scorpio. Three of Cups. Looks like a party. This could be he's going to the Middle East, around Christmas maybe. Christmas, or could be even between March and April. Yeah, he's doing something overseas. And I gotta say, growing up in the DC area and knowing the people that I know, this is common, on both sides of the aisle, Democrats and Republicans. They like to go over there to the Middle East, and nobody knows what they're doing. So a lot of times it is make deals. Pluto in the first house, US energy groups spend record sums on power plants to feed data centers. So we're going to see that more and more. It's going to be so much data. Here are all the airplanes. Here's all the data. And somebody wants it. Somebody wants it. Looks like Scorpio. This could be the Saudis. It could even be Iran. These are two entities. These are two kings. Leo. This could be a cyber crisis. Like, we talk about cybersecurity issues all the time, but this one does look pretty big, and it could be a group. It's also a bomb as well. So bombshells that are coming right in. And these people up here are the culprit. And how do you know that? Because it's at the apex of the triangle. That's the cause. It really hurts a lot of people. And I say that because of the square to Chiron. These are many, many wounds. And that seems like it could be right around the early July timeframe, or in maybe around September 5th to September 7th, something like that. That's when Chiron starts to activate. Are we talking about security? It's almost like this is the palace. It's like palace communications. Sometimes I like to look for the White House. Usually moon is the White House, but 1, 2, 3. Not seeing the White House in here. Are we talking about a major cybersecurity breach that affects Donald Trump in the next 3 or 4 months? Knight of Swords looks like it. Looks like it comes in pretty fast because Pluto and Uranus, that's a zap. Looks like 2 zaps, maybe one and then the other. And with Mercury, that is something that's a very tiny, tiny, tiny piece of data. With Leo, the clue there might be something like, the contractor's name is Lion Enterprises or Sun Microsystems or something that might have Leo. There's a little piece of data here. And it's successful too. Sometimes you hear about these breaches and it's like, the breach was thwarted or something like that. But there's some success here because of Mercury and part of fortune here. Something where this is US data that it might just be a little bit of data, but it has to do with something Leo related. Tell us more about this revenge strike that could be a cybersecurity breach. And I think it's probably going to be physical too. It's probably going to be something bigger than that, like a physical weapon that is used. But we could also have a cyber breach. Tell us more about the cyber breach. Heartbreak. So another Leo card, heart, Leo. People are upset. People are sad. Their data is lost. Pluto represents the government. At least this year, because the MC is in Scorpio. So we're going to look at Pluto, which rules Scorpio. The 10th house is the government. It's like the revenge government. This has something to do with government workers. I mean, we're already seeing how government workers, they thought they had security and not so much. Here's the 10th house, and it's in Scorpio. So we're going to look at Pluto. So we've got Pluto right in front of us, all the Americans. It's like all we're doing is talking about the government. Had it up to here talking about the government. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And it's in Scorpio. And so everybody's like, oh, he retaliated for this and he retaliated for that. And it's just like, you just want to think about something else. And so you can definitely see that. But this is data. And it's very successful. What kind of data is it? It's successful data that's in Libra. And that could be union data. It could be legal data. It could be legal data about the king. I wonder if this is anonymous. Could we get a card? Event that's probably coming up pretty soon. Is it anonymous? Ace of Pentacles. Seems like it. Seems like they are going to uncover something that has to do with money. And can we get a clarifier card on anonymous? What are they into? What are they into? 3 of Wands. So could be a house by the water. Is this Mar-a-Lago? 3 again. We're always getting 3. World War III, 3 this, 3 that. We're getting 3 themes lately. I don't know. Lots of women, lots of women. And let me ask one more thing about the data. And Scorpio too, this is secret data. This is secret. This is tax data. Oh, this is the IRS. Oh my God. Okay. This is the freaking IRS. Look at that. Okay. Now we got a good clue. This is IRS because that's Scorpio and Mercury is documents. Leo is the king. Pluto is real estate documents. Could also be just real estate data, other people's data. So well, let's look at the chart for Americans. That would be Uranus right here. So we're over here. We're here. And so this is something that I think might upset a lot of people. And interesting that if this is the IRS, look at the access to the president here. So this could be home information, could be real estate information. Oh my God. But it's definitely IRS related. What's happening with the IRS this year? God, if you told me 5 years ago that I would be asking about the IRS on YouTube and asking tarot cards, I would have been like, "You're gonna be kidding me." Look at where we end up sometimes. I'm sure Trump's probably telling himself that too. Um, all right, what does the IRS look like this year, starting July 4th, 2025? Knight of Wands. Wait, I just got that again? That's so crazy. I mean, I really shuffled. That's weird. Yes, Lonnie. Yeah, the Doge people took all of our information with them. Yep. Yeah, IRS data gone. Maybe. Soda Pop, you think it's Federal Reserve? Yep, that makes sense. Boondoggles for cash. Trump is unwell. The Fed sets rates, but the Fed is not part of the government. Trump is not going to succeed with his ICE plan. His health is bad and his backers are leaving him. Okay, so Jen, you were asking who controls interest rates. So, yeah, and the Fed is at odds with Trump right now. That's probably a real sore topic with him. So, the Federal Reserve, he really wants those rates coming down, and the chairman will not do it. What's the chairman's name again? Fed Reserve Chairman. Jerome Powell? Yeah, it's Jerome Powell. So Powell, maybe Powell steps down. But see, he's not head of the IRS though. Yeah, 7 hours ago, Trump teases Fed chair replacement shortlist anybody but Powell. So let's ask this: Is Powell getting fired soon? Is it imminent? That could really do something good for the market, maybe. Even though Powell is doing his best to keep interest rates down, um, will Powell get fired soon? Looks like no. Clarifier card on 3 of Swords, Ace of Wands. So somebody's got an ace up their sleeve, maybe. And so I guess Powell's going to stick around. There's a lot of talking, but we don't know. Sometimes there's acting, sometimes there isn't. Or I should say action, speculations. So let's see. Does the IRS disappear? Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, Jen, that's crazy. I couldn't remember what the name of the agency was that controlled interest rates. Does the IRS disappear? I like that one. Let's see. Hang on 1 second. I'm gonna fix my scarf there. Hide the wires. Okay. Does the IRS disappear? Four of Swords. They go they go within. We don't hear from them. They just try to do their thing. So, but that would be a yes card. I can't imagine the IRS disappearing. So what we're going to say is that maybe the IRS is just limited. They don't have as many employees. So it looks like there's kind of like it's sort of an empty place right now. Clarifier card on the IRS for this year. 8 of Pentacles, maybe digitizing, maybe modernizing. So it's kind of like hand in hand, the modernization, the digitizing, it's all like going to happen, but people want control over it at the same time. And it doesn't look like to me that's going to necessarily happen the way everyone wants. And yes, Sean, as in LIBOR. Yeah, maybe restrictions. Maybe restrictions. Uh, okay. Now, let me go back. All right, we're going to look at Elon. I thought this was very interesting. So this is his solar return, okay? He actually looks good, okay? Venus is this is the chart ruler. It's in the first house. There's a trine. Whenever you have a trine to the south node in your solar return, or a nice aspect to the nodes, north node or south node, this is the ability to be flexible, to move, to gain something. North node is to gain. Love a nice north node in the 11th house. This can show gaining the goal that you set that year. Okay. And the goals for him, 11th house in Aquarius, is probably maybe electric cars, something Aquarius related, space, whatever it is. So let's look at Uranus for him. Uranus is right here. So he is really well known for some innovations, especially this year, which is kind of crazy. I mean, Elon Musk, has some crazy stuff going on that is going to work for him. And it's weird because remember that Saturn, Neptune is the holy war. So here, this could be helping with the war. But you got Trump down here, and he does not want Elon in there. You could see that. Let me erase this. You see how this is a square here? And now the other way you could read that is that Trump is failing to do something here and Elon is helping him. He has the ability to do something, but Trump doesn't. So I'm not sure what that is, but this is a nice chart for Elon Musk, believe it or not. Now, the biggest thing for Elon Musk in his solar return chart is this T square. And these are people that he cannot see. And this looks maybe these are things that are getting blown up. Probably rockets and all that stuff. Um, let's talk about that for a second. What's happening with Elon Musk? And this is probably going to be, he just had his birthday. God, I can't remember what's his birth date. Let me see. Elon Musk birth chart. And okay, so June 28th. So this is really coming in, not for a while, I don't think, but things are going to probably start blowing up more. And I don't like saying that. I don't want that to happen for anybody, but June, July, August. No, Mercury's going to activate. So June, July. I mean, this is July, and it's going to cost him money. It looks like another thing that could crash, which one doesn't want. One doesn't like fires, which is what Leo is, but it looks like a big fire. And something can't get off the ground. It's almost like he's building it right now. You could see something that looks really, really good. But whatever it is, maybe preliminarily, it doesn't look that great. Yeah, I don't see a good outcome here for at least one of his projects. And also too, he doesn't know where he wants to live. The fourth house, when you have a T square and it's hitting your fourth, it's kind of like, where's my home? Where do I want to go? And that's sort of, he's kind of flitting around there. Let's talk about his career. Well, his career is Saturn this year, and that's in the on the MC because Capricorn rules. So we look over to Saturn. And Saturn looks, if it weren't for this pesky president right here, he would be in good shape. Um, this is something that it's almost like he's going back to what he did before. But I mean, what is Aries? I mean, it's his Mars. Maybe he's back on the Mars space journey or something like that. He needs money. Somebody just wants to stop him. And because they're mad, this Trump and his group, they're upset. They're upset about something. What is Trump? And it's going to be late summer. What's Trump so upset at Elon Musk about? What is Trump so upset at Leon? I mean, there's a firing, obviously, but there's fire. There's another explosion or something. But what's Trump so upset at Elon about? I keep getting Knight of Wands every time. That is so crazy. This is a younger person. Maybe it's definitely fire. Um, maybe that's what it's just saying. There's going to be a lot of fire. Whoops. Whoa. Uh, 7 of Wands. These are boundaries. This is good. That's a good card. But look at that crystal ball trying to maintain your inner peace. But it certainly looks like the desert. Um, and information. What's happening? What's happening with Elon's efforts? That there's some kind of obstruction or adverse event that's coming up. 9 of Swords again. Certainly a couple of 9 of Swords we got this show. So yeah, sadness about something, but it does look like he'll be able to move on. But yeah, the woman in the red dress, lots of red, lots of fire. It looks like it's almost, and I wonder if we could look at the date here, make a prediction for the date. So if he starts his birthday June 20, did he just have his birthday yesterday? Wow. I guess I get confused because he was celebrating an early birthday with the president before. But yeah, I guess he had his birthday yesterday. And so this is coming in strong here. And so Venus is going to be activating. He's going to be happy about something. He's going to be really excited about something. Maybe it might have something to do with spending time with the family. And so then once probably June 15th and to June 30th comes in, maybe July 28th. This is July 28th right here. Mercury activates. So this is where the T-square comes in, but it's really very, very hot. Let's say that in May of 2026, something's happening, which is extremely, extremely frustrating. You also see an opposition here with the 6th house of this court documents, and really, I mean, there's a T-square here again. So we're definitely going to be see some themes with Elon Musk of things blowing up, and metaphorically and literally, he's got something that is, I bet you it's the data. There's something that he's using. Now let's talk about his partners this year. His partners are going to be Pluto. Who doesn't like these partners? The Leos, the cats don't like these partners. They're at war with each other. This could be Iran. Yeah, I wonder if he helps Iran with something. Yee. That would be is Elon going to be one of Donald Trump's enemies this year? Maybe that's what makes Donald Trump so upset. 9 of Swords again. I'm going to shuffle these a little bit more here. Can I get a clarifier card on what's happening with this? It looks like it might be a shock. It's a shocking partner. Who is this shocking partner that Elon Musk is connecting with? And it's at 18 degrees. So this is an evil one. Who is Elon Musk joining forces with? That's amazing. I shuffled so hard. Still Knight of Wands. So whatever it is, it's not going to work for him. Maybe someone in a hot place. Can you give us a profile of one of Elon Musk's partners this year? It's very Scorpio. It's a secret partner. Secrets. Who's his secret partner? Page of Wands reversed. Partnership doesn't look so good. I mean, it'll help to some extent because of nice blue lines with the Pluto. Could be giving credit. Let's see, where are the cars? That's what I want to see. Now, the cars are Aries, and the 12th house is missing cars and the car, like debt from cars. So, assuming some debt from the cars, I think that's part of the T square as well. You can also look at Mars too. It's the 11th house of the partner. What's strange is that the president needs something that Elon has. And Mars, well, Mars is Elon's hidden enemy. So Trump is actually talking with someone who's Elon's hidden enemy. Wonder what that is. Yikes. Oh my God, I just saw this now. Uranus, hello, is squaring Mars. Sometimes it's a breakup with a family member. It can be in danger. And so he could be in danger this month, July 28th, June 28th to July 28th, and also when Uranus activates. March of next year is when Uranus activates. March 2026, a very big month for Elon Musk. Tell us what March 2026 means for Elon Musk. And I'm really going to shuffle these, I promise. Can't believe the same ones keep coming up. Starlink being used by Russian-Ukraine war. Starmer. Hey, Elizabeth, nice to see you. He's said to be building a place in Cabo. Oh, that's that yoga card. Yeah, Jen, it seems like everything business-wise for Elon eventually ends up profitable. So AI, what is AI in this chart? AI is this Neptune. AI is going to be really, you're going to see a lot of AI when it comes to war and the police and military. Yeah, they're really trying to do something, but it looks like Trump is not down with it. He doesn't like it. Maybe there's some kind of AI project that Elon Musk is doing that Trump is against. Let's get a card on that. Some kind of AI project that Elon Musk is working on that Trump does not want. Is that possible? Ooh, King of Pentacles reversed. So there's somebody very wealthy that could be sick, could be the downfall of a king, could be the money, could be some kind of financial thing. Elon also needs Trump. Give us one card about the Elon Musk Trump relationship in 2025, 26. Okay, something about family. Can I get a clarifier card on Musk and Trump's relationship in 2026? Seven of Cups reversed, being more proactive. So I don't see any bad cards. There definitely is kind of like half and half with those two. They really have to do this like delicate dance around each other. There's that dance, that hot dance between Trump and Elon's career. He wants to stop Elon's career. He does not want him to be successful without him, it looks like. But there's the Aries thing is really interesting to me. This is almost like Star Wars, because Aries is wars. There's a bunch of wars. Pluto and Aquarius is star. I wonder if we're going to be seeing a lot of things that have to do with Star Wars here. But this is all over his chart. I mean, it's undeniable. It's so interesting how these these houses are empty. Let's look and see what the news is talking about. That would be Saturn. And so a lot of stuff about it's warfare. It's a lot of warfare this year, but it's secret warfare because it's that 12th house. It's foreign warfare. So I think The Starlink is gonna be probably one of the biggest themes this year, and maybe even modernizing something. I mean, the 12th house is the government. It's his government. Would you consider USA his government? And he's able to do something where there's a win for the government because of the 10th house being the government and seeing that blue line there to Saturn and Neptune. The Saturn Neptune is so difficult. It's like, you know, it's a lot of work for the Aries, for the military. It's despair. It's the despair planet. And Neptune is like you're not only despairing, but you're drinking too. You're confused. Or you could be working very hard on an AI project, which would be Neptune. This is also spying as well. So this could be warfare, spying. This could be using old military tactics that are going to be modernized in some way. So let me get a card on the spy. Yes, spies. Angel, is there anything about electricity? Oh, yeah. Oh, big time. Hyper, you said Amazon is working on a Starlink competitor project. Where did they get these names? And it starts with a K. You know what I say about the K? That means a king. So that means something Leo. Okay, that's what Trump needs, the AI information. He's trying to stop the AI robot soldiers. Ooh, robot soldiers. Good one. Neptune would be robots. Aries would be soldiers. Saturn would be, maybe they're a little too slow right now. Yeah. They're gonna have to be careful, Angel, you said, to not to rely on electric power. Kimberly, how do you apply the meaning of the planets? For instance, how do we know the White House is the moon, president is the sun, etc.? Well, the planets have colors. So, you see Neptune in Sag. Sag is boats. So you might see a white boat. Um, but if you see moon in the fourth house of home, you're going to see the White House. Sometimes it's the degrees too. So if you see the moon at 4 degrees, moon is home at 4 degrees is white. So you could also look at the degrees as well. But yeah, you really have to interpret based on what you see yourself. Everybody has their own little style. President is the sun, just it's the person in power. And usually with Cancer, it tends to mean the domestic president or also, let's see, what else is Cancer? Very famous. Usually the presidents are very famous. And what do we see him doing? He's always talking in front of a big home that's white. And let's see. Yeah. You wanted to, yeah. Uranus Aquarius is electricity. Okay. So, Angel, you want to know about more spies. Let's see here. These are some spies. They're secret spies. It's warfare. This is a whole new level of warfare that I don't think we can even comprehend right now. Elon can. He's a visionary. And so Trump is the person who does the deals, not as much a visionary, but he surrounds himself with very smart people. So I guess you could say almost he's in a visionary circle. But let's talk about spies for a second. Neptune is a spy. This is a war spy. Okay, so Saturn also represents cold. It's Capricorn. It's wood. It's in the woods. It's in the mountains. So remember when we saw Iran, they were striking in the mountains. So that would be Saturn. But Saturn also represents black too. So that's really this is like a whole formula here. So it could be black ops, black spies, dark web. That's what it is. It's the dark freaking web. Oh my God. Why? Because Aquarius is the web. Neptune is secrets and spies, using the dark web for something. So all that data is on the dark web, which we could have guessed. But Trump doesn't want it there, which doesn't make sense. I guess because maybe he doesn't have control of it. But let's talk about the dark web. I don't even know anything about the dark web. I mean, obviously the criminals are all there. What's up with Elon Musk and the dark web? Five of Pentacles. Maybe was upset, but is no longer. He's turning his frown upside down. Another, I mean, it's money too. Okay. So maybe ways to maybe using crypto and somehow sending money secretly. So maybe not getting taxed. Give us another clue for this dark web that we see with Elon Musk in 2025, 26. Ace of Wands, a new project maybe. Somebody has an idea. What's this idea? What's this dark web idea that Elon might be part of? Queen of Pentacles reversed. I mean, he does say he's all about efficiency, but he wants to turn something around, like bring it down maybe. Um, this is somebody in power. So maybe possibly weakening someone who's very, very powerful. Yeah. Crypto on the dark web. Yes. Oh, I didn't know that. You keep asking what an onion would be in a chart because onion is a key to the dark web, but just saying. Well, onion is food, and that's Taurus. And what rules this chart this year? Hello, Taurus. It's food. And North Node in Pisces, Russia. It's Russia. It's a friend. This is a friend, 11th house, who is Russian. Wonder who that is. Yeah. There's something. Okay, maybe that's why Trump's trying to pull him back because he's doing something with someone from Russia or an Eastern European country. And Trump doesn't maybe want to admit that maybe he weakened something. Whether he did or didn't, we don't know. But that could be an example of why we see that red line there. That if that gets out, it could be pretty bad. So, all right. Well, we got a lot of questions addressed. I know. Well, I mean, good luck with my data because it's all over the place. They're still not going to be able to build a profile. And at this point, I'm half dead anyway. Yeah, another Cold War. Good call. That would be Saturn would be cold, Aries would be war, Neptune would be probably Russia. So yeah, maybe another Cold War with Russia is starting. I still see that we're going to be modernized though, and I think there's going to be some exciting things happening for us. So, well, thank you for spending some time with me, and I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and I will see you tomorrow. Thanks again.